and steal your children? A thief. Who's gonna come kick down your door? A thief. Who's gonna take everything that you hold dear and love and precious to your heart? A thief. Listen, you know what happened during the night? During the night, your Christian pastor allowed the white man to come into your neighborhood.
Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General YAHANNA is putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheraton in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the Convention Center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time. Job 24, verse 14. The murderer.
The who?
The murderer.
It's talking about the murderer. Who has been murdering Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans here in Harlem? Who has been murdering Black, Hispanic, and Native American people in the Americas, in North America, South America, the Caribbean, right? Central America? Who is murdering our people, right? It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult to know or try to understand who's murdering us. Read it again.
The murderer.
The who?
The murderer.
White people are what?
The murderer.
Africans are what?
The murderer.
Chinese people are what?
The murderer.
The Arabs are what?
The murderer.
These are the murderers of Black, Hispanic, and Native American people here in Harlem. If you disagree, prove me wrong.
Right.
Where did we learn to murder each other? Where did we learn to sell drugs to each other? Who taught us how to load a gun and shoot it? Who taught us how to cook crack in a pot in the stove and mix it around and add this and that and sell it to murder to our people? Huh? Who taught it to us if it wasn't for the white man?
Right.
Who taught us to hate our women if it wasn't for the Arabs? Who taught us to hate our culture if it wasn't for the Africans?
Right.
And who taught us to murder each other if it wasn't for the Jewish man murdering us? If it wasn't for the white man murdering us? Or the Arab? Or the East Indian owning the Dunkin' Donuts across the street?
Right.
Who taught us how to murder each other?
Right.
Keep going.
Rising with the light.
The what?
The murderer rising with the light.
The murderer rising with the light. Now what happens in the light? You see, it's dark, the sun starts to come out, and guess who's rising as the sun is coming up? The murderer. And what is the murderer rising with the sun to do?
Kill it.
He's gonna what?
Kill it.
When the sun rises, you got white police officers ready to do what?
Kill it.
When the sun rises, you got Arabs in the stores ready to sell you Lucy's and grubber and tobacco grubber to fill your blunts. What are they doing?
Kill it.
Right? We got Africans pretending to be black people, trying to act like black people, dressing like black people, but at the end of the day, they want nothing to do with you. If they had it up to them, what they would do? Kill it. Listen, these Chinese people, they rise up with the sun because they want to make sure that they open that Chinese store and sell you every type of cat, every type of dog, like a Shih Tzu and a German Shepherd, every type of cat you can think of. That's how they're killing us. Read it from the top.
The murderer rising with the light.
The murderer is going to rise with the light. As soon as the sun is coming up, that's when the murderer comes out.
Killing the poor and needy.
And what?
killing the poor.
Who does it kill?
The poor.
Who's more poor than black people right here on 116th and Lenox? We got Tab Projects, King Towers, right? We got the small park right off the block where there's nothing but black and Hispanic people suffering from drugs, slumped over dope, trying to scramble around some chains to buy some more crack. Who is suffering more than black Hispanics right here on 116th and Lenox? We used to run this neighborhood. We used to have pride in this neighborhood. We used to have care and love for each other in this neighborhood. And then the Christian church taught us how to sin.
Right.
And then the Muslim mosque allowed Africans to come in.
Right.
And then we got all these stores that we don't even own anymore. When's the last time you seen a building owned by a black man with a restaurant owned by a black man? When's the last time you seen a building owned by a Hispanic man and the dry cleaning owned by the Hispanic man? Now we got these buildings, they're owned by Jewish people. Now we got these businesses, they're owned by Africans and Arabs and Chinese, right? When are we gonna own our stuff again? There's no one poor here on 116th and Lenox more than black and Hispanic people. And look at the proof. We're so poor we can't stop white people from gentrifying our neighborhoods.
Right.
We're so poor we can't have our own businesses, so we need Africans to open up a business. We need Arabs to open up a business. We need the East Indians to open up the Dunkin' Donuts, right? We're so poor we can't own our own buildings. We can't own our own apartment complexes, but the Jewish people can. We'll let everyone come into our neighborhoods and gentrify because we're what? We're poor. We're so poor here, right here on 116th and Lenox. Keep going.
And needy.
And what?
And needy.
Who is more needy than black, Hispanic, and Native Americans? Walk down this way on Lenox, walk down that way on Lenox, go to Tab Projects, go down to King Towers. Who's begging for food? Who's begging for some spare change? Who's standing outside Dunkin' Donuts or Burger King or walking around with their clothes in a garbage bag asking for help if it's not for our people? I don't see Asians in my community begging, needy. I don't see Arabs in my community begging, needy. I don't see Jewish people. I don't see white people. I don't see Africans in Harlem on 116th and Lenox begging, poor, needy. It's always us. It's always the same people on this sign. So-called Negroes, the so-called Hispanics, the so-called Native Americans. We are the poor. We are the needy. In our own neighborhoods, we're poor. In our own neighborhoods, we are needy. Read it from the top.
The murderer rising with the light, killeth the poor and needy, and in the night is as a thief.
And what happens when the sun goes down? It turns to night. And what does the murderer turn into?
A thief.
A what?
A thief.
You know who's gonna come and steal your children?
The murderer. A thief.
Who's gonna come and steal your children?
A thief.
Who's gonna come kick down your door?
A thief.
Who's gonna take everything that you hold dear and love and precious to your heart?
A thief.
Listen, you know what happened during the night? During the night, your Christian pastor allowed the white man to come into your neighborhood.
Right.
You know what happened to this neighborhood? During the night, our people let these Muslims come over here and take over our neighborhood. You know what happened during the night? Our neighborhood was stolen by a thief.
So